वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपाम्बुदीर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। बहुत बहुत स्वागत आप सभी का भागवत गीता अध्ययन सत्र में। हम कंटिन्यू करते हैं हमारे श्रीमद् भागवत गीता का अध्ययन। अध्याय 15 श्लोक संख्या 5 से देखेंगे। भागवत गीता भगवान हमें क्या दे रहे हैं? देखिए, संसार में सभी कोई ना कोई हमें कुछ ना कुछ देने के लिए है। और भगवान क्या दे रहे हैं? अपना भाव। अनेकों स्थान पे कहते हैं ना भगवान गीता में, तो भगवान अपना भाव दे रहे हैं। और भगवान का भाव कैसा है? सच्चित आनंद विग्रह है ना भगवान। सच्चित आनंद विग्रह भगवान, और वही भगवान हमें दे रहे हैं। भाव भी बड़ी बहुत ही मूल्यवान चीज़ है। भाव का एक अर्थ क्या? भाव मतलब एक मोल भी हुआ ना, भाई क्या भाव है? कोई वस्तु हम खरीदने जाते हैं तो देखते हैं ना, भाई क्या भाव है, क्या मोल है। तो भगवान अनमोल है, और भगवान का ये भगवत भाव अनमोल है, भगवत धाम अनमोल है। और उस अनमोल दिव्य उपहार, दिव्य भेंट ही हमें दे रहे हैं। दिव्य ये सोपान हमें दे रहे हैं भगवान भागवत गीता के माध्यम से, इस संवाद के माध्यम से, कृष्ण भावनामृत के माध्यम से उस दिव्यता को हमें पकड़ा रहे हैं, जो कि हमारा अधिकार भी है। जीव मात्र का अधिकार है ना भगवान के साथ शाश्वत संबंध। तो संबंध में तो हम हैं, लेकिन इस भौतिक जगत में हमारी बद्ध अवस्था में उस संबंध की पूर्णता के हम पास में भी नहीं है, बहुत दूर है उस संबंध की पूर्णता से। क्योंकि जीव की तो पूर्णता, कंप्लीटनेस, उसकी होलसमनेस तभी है जब वो भगवान पे साथ प्रेम में ही संबंध में हो। अभी हम आश्रित तो सभी है भगवान पे, लेकिन वो प्रेम में ही आश्रित नहीं है। तो अब हमारा भगवान के साथ जो प्रेम में संबंध है वो पूर्ण रूप से स्थापित हो। और भगवान की कृपा कैसे निकलती है? भगवान की कृपा महत् पुरुष के हृदय से संचारित होकर निकलती है। भगवान के जो शुद्ध भक्त है ना, उनके माध्यम से भगवान की कृपा निकलती है। जैसे गंगा जी है ना, भगवान के चरण कमलों से निकली हुई है। तो भगवान की जो अंतरंगा कृपा है, वो भगवान के अंतरंगा भक्त, प्रेमी भक्त, पार्षद, उनकी कृपा से निकलती है। तो ये मनुष्य जीवन मिला ही है। शॉर्टकट अगर हमें अपनाना हो ना, और सही कट भी है, वो क्या? भगवान को ढूँढना है तो भगवान के भक्त को ढूँढ लो, भगवान मिल जाएँगे। भगवान भक्त के हृदय में विराजमान करते हैं ना, तो किन्हीं भक्त के संपर्क में हम आ गए, तो फिर भगवान छुपे नहीं रहेंगे, हमसे दूर नहीं रहेंगे। तो यही सही तरीका है, और यही शॉर्ट तरीका है। अन्यथा डायरेक्ट भगवान को पकड़ने जाएँगे तो बहुत बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा। भगवान मिलेंगे भी नहीं, और भगवान फिर हमें बार-बार वही कहेंगे कि मेरे भक्त को ढूँढ लो, मेरे भक्त को ढूँढ लो, शुद्ध भक्त को ढूँढ लो। तो देखिए, साधना में हम जुड़े हुए हैं, साधना का क्या अभिप्राय है, साधना का क्या प्रयोजन, गंतव्य होना चाहिए कि हम गुरु पादाश्रय की ओर बढ़ें। साधना से ये सिद्ध होना चाहिए कि हम गुरु पादाश्रय की ओर बढ़ें, गुरु पादाश्रय ग्रहण करें। और गुरु पादाश्रय से क्या मिलेगा हमें? गुरु पादाश्रय से भगवान का धाम, भगवान का संग, भगवान का प्रेम, भगवान की सानिध्य, भगवान की साक्षात और शाश्वत सेवा, वो मिलेगी। और यही जीव का अल्टीमेट सुख है, इसी में जीव का अल्टीमेट सुख है। तो इसी आशा अभिलाषा के साथ हम अपनी भागवत गीता का अध्ययन को आगे बढ़ाते हैं। अध्याय 15 और श्लोक संख्या 5। पहले हम पढ़े थे, लेकिन पूरा समय के अभाव से हम इतना प्रयास नहीं कर पाए थोड़ा और अच्छे से समझने का। इस बार देखते हैं, तो अनुवाद ही पढ़ेंगे इस बार। तात्पर्य पहले पढ़ें। निर्माण मोहाजित संग दोषा अध्यात्म नित्य विनिवृत्त कामा द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्त सुख दुःख संगे गच्छन्ति मूढ़ा पदमव्ययम् तत्। तो हर्षा जी अनुवाद पढ़िए। तात्पर्य तो वी हैव रेड, जस्ट अनुवाद शुड बी ओके आई फील।
जो झूठी प्रतिष्ठा, मोह तथा कुसंगति से मुक्त है, शाश्वत तत्व को समझते हैं, जिन्होंने भौतिक काम को नष्ट कर दिया है, जो सुख तथा दुख के द्वंद्व से मुक्त हैं और जो मोह रहित होकर परम पुरुष के शरणागत होना जानते हैं, वे उस शाश्वत राज्य को प्राप्त होते हैं।
झूठी प्रतिष्ठा ना, झूठी सही प्रतिष्ठा क्या है? अगर कुछ झूठी प्रतिष्ठा है तो कुछ एक सही प्रतिष्ठा भी होगी ना। वो सही प्रतिष्ठा क्या है? उसी सही प्रतिष्ठा को ही हमें पाना है, उसी को समझना है। झूठी प्रतिष्ठा तो समझ में आता है। झूठी प्रतिष्ठा क्या है? ये देहात्म बुद्धि में जीना, यही झूठी प्रतिष्ठा है। ये झूठी प्रतिष्ठा है, देहात्म बुद्धि में रहना। अपने आप को भगवान का नहीं समझना, यही मिथ्या अहंकार है। अहंकार तो रहेगा, अभी दिव्य अहंकार को पाना है। क्या कि मैं भगवान का हूँ, उसको पाना है। और मिथ्या अहंकार कि मैं इस संसार का हूँ। तो निर्माण मोह, निर्माण मोह जित संग दोषा अध्यात्म नित्य विनिवृत्त कामा द्वंद्वेर विमुक्त। So, Harsha, would you be able to share in English? Once we see this in English as well, just the translation we'll read. And then we'll try to see a bit. Nirman moha jit sang dosha अध्यात्म नित्य विनिवृत्त कामा द्वन्द्वैर विमुक्ता सुख दुःख संगे गच्छन्ति मूढ़ा पदमव्ययम् तत्। So Bhagavad Gita chapter 15 text 5, very beautiful. Krishna is offering us or giving us nirman moha. We read the other day the opposite of man. Like if we see man, it comes out as naam as well, name, fame and name. So Pip, read just translation.
Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain that eternal kingdom.
Yeah. So Krishna is offering us that eternal kingdom. है ना? Krishna is offering us his own swarup, his own swabhava, as we were discussing sometime today. There's touchstone. So touchstone. Now the beauty of touchstone is whosoever comes in contact with touchstone, it converts that item into gold. से, हाँ? It converts that chair, it makes into gold. है ना? And there's this thing actually, and it is it's a real material object which can change the composition of one matter item to into another. That is the potency, to change wood, make wood say into gold, steel into gold. mm, and you touch and it becomes turns into gold. But there is one side effect, and perhaps a very big side effect, or one limitation, and perhaps a very big limitation. What? It does not give the other person that potency to himself or herself become a touchstone. As in, if I touch a touchstone, I can become gold. But if someone touches me after that, I won't make anyone a gold. Nothing will happen to the other person. Other person still has to go to the touchstone. But this is where a pure devotee who enters one's life, uh, he has carrying pure Krishna consciousness, and he can ignite that Krishna consciousness, that dormant Krishna consciousness in the heart of the sadhaka who comes to him. And so much so that he is offering him nothing less than pure devotional service, making him or her a pure devotee of Krishna. And that pure devotee giving him or her that blessing, that potency, that he or she can make another person as well a pure devotee of Krishna, nothing less. A much better pure devotee of Krishna, a much better pure devotee of Krishna in that sense. And this is Guru Parampara. This is Guru Parampara. Uh, Accepting disciples and again becoming Guru, say, or that a parampara of pure devotees. Guru Parampara is a parampara of pure devotees. And we need to connect ourselves to that parampara, the league of pure devotees. So Nirmana Moha is very important, free from false prestige. Now, free from false prestige, it will be very helpful if I understand what is the real prestige. Uh, Freedom from false prestige, it works as a motivation, but perhaps not so sustainable motivation. Uh, we should always be driven by a much positive motivation, a higher taste. Param deshtva nivartate. So higher taste is what? Taking into devotional service, then we give up the lower taste. Likewise, freedom from false prestige when I understand what is the real prestige. Where lies the real prestige? And then I meditate, I focus, I live my life aiming for that real prestige, following that real prestige, then the false prestige will go away. Prestige is prestige. Prestige is an emotion of the soul proper which won't die. Right now, I associate myself as a creation of this material world, belonging to the material world, so I'm very much attracted by the material world. Hmm? When I understand I'm Krishna's, I belong to Krishna, that should be my prestige. So that is the real prestige. Nirmana Moha Jita Sanga Dosha, illusion. We discussed last time a bit, but we couldn't. We Such a beautiful shloka, and again, I always feel, especially some shlokas, I feel very short. But okay, we continue. Illusion, है ना? Moh, Nirmana Moha. Man and Nam one and the same. Opposite of Man is Nam. Nam meaning name, fame. And this world is nothing beyond these six events in this world. What? Birth and death, uh, fame and infame, insult, success and failure. Nothing outside of this thing. Uh, Jai Parajay, victory and defeat. hmm, Man Apman, success or failure, or fame or insult, and Janma Mrityu, birth and death. There's nothing outside of these six events. But the soul proper has got nothing to do as such with the six events, or the soul proper needs to find where is that eternal, where this is sustainable, where this is like continuous. So we have to give up with mundane name fame. But how do we give up with mundane name fame when I carry this pride within myself? That see, I'm a spirit soul. This is on the platform of knowledge. To consider oneself that I am body is ignorance. Hmm? To consider that I am a spirit soul is in knowledge, platform of knowledge, but this knowledge is not good enough. Next is what? Real wisdom. Wisdom. I am Krishna's. That is great, but still it is not good enough. Furthermore, I am Krishna's devotee of the devotee of the devotee of the devotee. Dasa dasanudasa. Lover of lover of lover of lover of Krishna. That that chain I need to connect, and that should be my prestige. That should be my pride and honor. So where there is a temporary pride, therein I try to situate myself heavily. And where there is a permanent real pride, I want to shy away from that. So if I fix myself on the real pride, there's two things, na, Swarup and Roop. Jivere Swarup hoye Krishna Nitya Das. Swarup meaning identity. Like as in you go somewhere, restaurant or a hospital or airport, who are you? Someone at the reception asks, right? In a hotel, who are you? So meaning what is your identity? Who are you? Meaning what is your identity? Uh, so okay, I am such and such person. I have done this booking. I've got this booking and all. So then the identity is clear. So our identity, we know that we are eternal servant of Krishna. Now work is to meditate on the eternal service as well, on the eternal form and the eternal service. That should be the meditation. That yes, I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. In what capacity would I like to serve? And this is something I cannot impose myself. Oh, Krishna, I would like to serve you in this capacity. It's good to have that desire. uh, And then we contemplate further and further. Like we know, right? If we call someone's name, then the person responds, the person appears or comes about, right? Likewise, when we call out Krishna's name, then with our good japa will reveal the Swarup, and with Swarup, the Roop as well, the identity, the form. That should be my prestige. Everyone is beautiful in the spiritual world. Everyone is beautiful. So now what beautiful form that should be contemplated. Disposition is same, everyone is serving. Everyone is serving now on the form. So nirmana moha mo. Mo is interesting illusion. है ना? Mo means something which I have not yet had it, but I hanker for it. I have not yet had it, but I hanker for it. So mo for Krishna Prem is the best mo to have. Oh, I have not yet attained Krishna Prem, but I would want to have it. This sort of mo, this sort of longing, this sort of trishna, this sort of hankering will take us in the eternal realm. And in worldly realm, what do we long for? Mo means longing. What do we long for? We long for a good job, we long for a good wife, we long for a good house, we long for so many such things. Name fame. Again, no harm in getting a good job, no harm in getting a family and uh, residence. No, but it is when we long in material world, when we long for such, we generally long for temporary relationships and we absorb ourselves in that. So this is why we become illusioned. Uh, Material illusion means a short dream, short temporary dream. A temporary dream is bound to be broken. Krishna conscious illusion means what? Eternal dream. Just see a dream, if it is eternal, permanent, that is reality. That is no more a dream then. And any dream, if it is broken, then it is temporary, it is not real, it is not factual. This is why illusory appears like. So, what we are experiencing in this human realm, in this human society, it appears to be true, but it is not completely true. It appears like happiness, but it is not real happiness. It is just a glimpse, a perverted reflection of the real happiness. Uh, So, Moh is always of the future, illusion of the future, as in a child always longs to grow up. Oh, when do I grow up? When do I grow up? When do I put on trouser? When do I put on big shoes? Hmm? So when do I get a job here? So Moh is always like, I don't have it, I would want it. Like our acharyas, if we see their prayers, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, Kobe hobe bolo se dinamar. When, oh when will that day be mine? So this is the Moh, this is the illusion, this is the Moh. Uh, Not in that illusion in the sense that, okay, one is completely lost. So Nirmana Moha Jit Sanga Dosha. Here we are illusioned, we are Moh means enchanted. We are enchanted by material attraction. And in material attraction, again, the dominating material attraction is what? Form. Form is such a predominating material attraction towards form, how in the form of house, car, dress, all those very heavy attraction. So now this material illusion means attraction and distraction. That is material illusion. Attraction and distraction, because whatever I am attracting, getting attracted to, it will lead me to distraction only. Because soul's proper consciousness is to flow, the love flow of love towards Krishna. And material illusion won't let that happen. It is going to break. It has got its limitation, bondage. And spiritual more, this Krishna conscious more, is attraction in supremely attractive whom I have not yet attained. So Srila Narottam Das Thakur in Prem Bhakti Chandrika, he writes, right? Moha Ishta Darshan Bina. That I have not yet had the darshan of my Ishtadev. For Prahlad Maharaj, his Ishtadev was Narsinga Bhagwan. For Chitraketu, Ishtadev is Sankarsana, Lord Sankarsana. No? For us, we have not yet kind of found out our Ishtadev. Is it Narsinga Bhagwan? Is it Sankarsana, Balram, or Krishna as Radha Sham Sundar? So that should be our meditation. Charana Smaranam Premna Tav Deva Sudurlabam Yatha Katanchit Nrihare Mama Bhuya Daharnisham. Beautiful prayer Sridhar Swami quotes in Bhagavatam 1087:23 in the purport towards the end. That somehow or other Krishna enable me to meditate upon you day and night. This should be the prayer to the deities that kindly become the center of my attention. If we make deities the center of our attention, then this world has no capacity to shake us away. Otherwise, everything is there to take us away from Krishna consciousness. So, Nirmana Moha Jit Sanga Dosha. This sort of temporary illusion we have to win over by properly fixing ourselves in the higher realm, in the higher consciousness, in the absolute consciousness. Only then we can give up this material world. Otherwise, any tinge of material attachment, oh, not enough, not enough. See, our journey is between this only. Again, take this as a question, and where would we like to fit ourselves? Kindly share. Would we like to say, I almost won or I almost lost? Which is better? In terms of, say, I almost attained spiritual kingdom, almost attained absolute consciousness, or I almost lost absolute consciousness. I almost missed absolute consciousness. I almost won, or I almost lost. Where would we like to fit ourselves? I almost made
In the,
it. Hmm.
in the latter, almost lost.
Almost lost. Yeah. I almost made it to become a pure devotee. I almost won, same. I was so close to becoming a pure devotee. There's some devotees who say, "Oh, I almost had darshan of Prabhupada when Prabhupada was present, na 1975, 97, 5 minute, 10 minute." So one is like almost won, another almost lost. We would like to be almost lost. That is our situation actually. That if we ever make it, it has to be by, oh, just almost, I had almost lost. Imagine if we fall in this category, how painful will it be? Almost won. Meaning what? I got rid of all material attachments, just a slight attachment I had towards where? Nail polish color. Hmm? Towards where? Just one towards mobile phones, towards this one dress. I just almost I purified myself fully, but just one thought was lingering. One thought was lingering. And that one thought can make us again multiply into several thoughts for us. So we don't want that thing to come about that I almost want. So this is why a devotee can never afford to entertain any iota of pride in himself. Physical lust is one thing, but subtle lust is more heavier. Subtle sense enjoyment. So again, this is a question. Practicing sadhaka, our absorption should be very different. Hmm. The absorption of someone who has not found his resolve in Krishna consciousness, his or her observation of life is very different than what our observation is. So, a practicing sadhaka's observation is gross sense enjoyment more heavier or subtle sense enjoyment more heavier? Is gross sense enjoyment more pushing us away from Krishna consciousness, or subtle sense enjoyment pushes one away more from Krishna consciousness?
Subtle sense enjoyment.
Subtle sense
Yeah, I think
enjoyment.
the same. It's the subtle sense enjoyment.
Subtle is very heavier. Subtle is very heavier. See, practicing in the living in the company of devotees, externally we learn dhoti kurta tilak, we should learn also, we wear. And now is developing a subtle mood. And this is a law. This is a law. It is subtle which rules over the gross. Subtle rules over the gross. Our subtle thoughts, they rule over us, which make us act. है ना? Then we go into action mode. So subtle rules over the gross. This is why we need to make sacred space in our life. Morning time. Take good rest. Wake up early in the morning. Do concentrated, deep, absorb japa. And few things. Never entertain. I mean, some things I feel like, oh, I cross my limits in speaking, but mm, I don't know if I cross or not cross. But see, personally, again, maybe if I can say, personally speaking, I would never like to entertain such a thought in my head that I have done extra rounds, or that month, whole Kartik, I did extra rounds, or on Ekadashi, I do extra rounds. Or on weekends I do extra rounds, or daily basis for next 6 months, or this is my vow for 2023, daily basis doing extra rounds. We can never do extra rounds. We can never do extra rounds. We have only 25 4 hours, you know, and 24 hours is not enough. There's nothing like extra. In love, in pure love, one can never say I do extra round of japa mala. If you wanted to make it like a process, as in step one, step two, stage one, all those things, then yes, doing extra round. But if we want absorption, we should never entertain such thoughts in our life. Now we are sadhakas, right? Practicing Krishna consciousness. Now it is to building up a mood. Otherwise, if we allow such moods to enter our consciousness, then 5 year down the line or sometime down the line, it will be very difficult to get rid of such thoughts. So we never do extra rounds. Love can never be extra. We just do bare minimum rounds. Bare minimum rounds. है. So never quantification. Such things no one likes. No one likes quantification. We can never attain Krishna by such a report card. So we have to humbly pray, Krishna, please make me almost lose it. Almost lose it. This is what, oh wow, what it is just like by a stroke of luck. In Krishna consciousness, practicing Krishna consciousness, I don't want to be a genius. I want to be lucky. I don't want to be genius. This is something one sadhaka should realize. The sooner one realize, no point in being genius. I can never be a genius as well. I don't want to be a genius. I just want to be lucky. Lucky to make it. See, in material world, or someone desiring to go to America for studies or UK for studies or certain university in India, IIT, very reputed in university in India, very good brains, those who pass out from there. So it's just somehow or other if it happens, somehow or others, if I get into this train, somehow or other if I do not miss my flight. Suppose we are catching a flight and we are stuck in heavy traffic. Would we want to be genius or lucky then? One will say, oh, keep genius aside. Somehow I be lucky and let me just make it into the flight. No one can attain pure Krishna consciousness by showing genius. It is only by acknowledging mercy, meaning that Krishna kindly make me fortunate. I am a pauper, but now I understand what you are offering and I am becoming hankering for it. So now we do not want to be any genius. That doesn't mean we do not apply our intelligence. That doesn't mean we do not learn or no, we learn, but we don't take this tag that I'm a genius. No, no way. So as much we distance. This is why gross physical lust is one thing on the bodily platform. Ah, more subtle is to be worried about. Pride is more heavier than lust. On the physical platform, this bodily attraction is one thing, but pride is very heavy. So nirmana moha jit sanga dosha. है ना? This the fault, है ना? Fault of association, sanga dosha. From now, sang is like modes of material nature, also physical association which we take from people all around social media and all over. Na? Our mind we associate so much with our mind, so we have to come over all such association. When we come across someone who is at the absolute platform, then we can etavan eva yajatam iha nishreya odaye. Harsha, if you can bring in screen, it is Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 2:3:11. एतावानेव यजताम् इह निःश्रेयोदये भगवती अचलो भावो यद भागवत संगता. है ना? We want what? Achal bhav unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Achal meaning unshakable, immovable. है ना? That is achal. We want that bhav. And how would that bhav come about? When we associate with someone who is situated in that mood. Bhagavati achalo bhavo yad bhagvat sangata. Yeah, that is the highest nishreya odayam. Uh, That is the highest achievement for a soul proper. And how would that come about? When he associates with someone who is in that bhav. Yeah. Okay, so uh, Pip, would you be okay to read the translation, please? Just the translation. Or if not, yes,
Yeah.
read, please.
All the different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfectional benediction, which is spontaneous attraction unflinchingly fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by the association of the pure devotee of the Lord.
Now the word only is very significant. Only changes the course of the statement altogether. Only by the association of the pure devotee of the Lord. Uh, And this comes right after the very popular shloka. Uh, Akama sarvakama va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusha param. So Harsha, go to the previous one. Uh, Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena means again spontaneous, intense, very intense, very sharp. So Rajshri, just read translation.
Hare Krishna. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead.
Okay. So Srila Sukdev Goswami telling us what? That whatever we are, whatever state we are, and whosoever we are worshipping, like the flow is amazing. Another day when Krishna allows us to study Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see this chapter first few shlokas from 3, I believe, till 9. It is like if you want this boon benediction, go to this demigod. If you want that boon benediction, go to that demigod. But if you want all boon and benediction, akama sarva kama va moksha kama udarati. Whatever your status base, whatever you desire, huh? Just worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. By all means, intensify bhakti. And how will that tivrata, that intensity in bhakti will come? That Shukdev Goswami tells us in the next verse. That by only by the association of the pure devotee of the Lord. Right? This is what na touchstone can make an object turn it from say iron to gold, but it does not give that object that power to make others also gold. But Prabhupada, he created a society of Paramahamsas, right? And this is the Guru Parampara. Also, there is one thing a guru, a spiritual master may have 100 disciples, say, eh, but not everyone becomes a disciple. Not everyone. The most difficult thing in this life is to become a follower. It is very difficult to become a follower. Becoming a follower meaning becoming a straight line. Uh, Very difficult to draw a straight line, very difficult to be a straight line. Straight line meaning my heart, my mind, my intelligence, my soul, my ego, my senses, my desires, my expectations, aims, aspirations, vision, everything one line, in line with Guru and Gaurang. So we need to win over faulty association and pray to become this one straight line. eh? And this will come about. How can we win over faulty association when we take such higher association of those who are uh, very elevated? So we need to pray fervently for it. That is Jita Sangha dosha. Mm. Another see, sometimes we share, but see, it is, I find it quite this thing. This world, this life is a tussle between good and the bad. Duality. This world is full of duality. It is not like spiritual world. There is no duality. Duality means the dual sides of one thing, like temperature, hot and cold, uh, season, summer and winter, wealth wise, material wealth, say, opulence wise, rich and poor. uh. So it is not like such duality does not exist in spiritual world. It exists. There is a hot and cold, day and night. uh, But there's no one like ugly. No one ugly in spiritual. Everyone is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Uh, So But this world is a full of duality, good and bad. So our life is tell you, see, it is like this only. Say take a sport, for example, football, or we can see for cricket as well, or some other sport as well, even lawn tennis or other sports. Say take this sport of football. Now, football, the game starts. Okay. Now imagine, see, like I write, like building a bit of a hype. So imagine World Cup coming. And was it last year in Qatar, the World Cup, and England after 1996 was the last time they won World Cup, and I think they were in the semis this time or quarterfinal this time. Or say, imagine like World Cup coming now, semi-final, leading to final, and this is the final game and best teams. World Cup final game, best stadium, isn't it? World Cup meaning best tournament, final best. Stadium has to be the best, time has to be the best, everything best, best referee, best players, highest viewership, stadium, everything set up. Now, what? The coin is tossed, referee says okay, and one party takes one side, another party starts with the ball, and the game begins. Time is begun. Now, the ball is the sole proper, say. The ball is the sole proper. And see, now what is happening in this game? Okay, uh, say Real Madrid versus Barcelona, some Champions League club say Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Now Ronaldo has got the ball and Ronaldo is taking the ball ahead and Messi is coming from the other side. Messi is kicking, Ronaldo is kicking the ball, and what Messi is trying to score a goal but he couldn't and hit the goal post, couldn't make a goal. So what like okay, lust is coming from one side and kindness coming from another side, and the ball is being tackled by here lust and kindness is trying to defend the ball but lust is wanting to kick, but kindness is trying to stop, and from another side compassion is coming to help kindness, but there is anger which is asking for a pass for the ball, and eventually okay, lust has scored the goal, lust has won it. huh? Then again bring the ball to the center and start again. Game is on 90 minutes. And now, okay, it is mercy kicking the ball and purity is taking farther ahead. Prayers are there behind. Hmm? But what is coming ahead? Pride. Pride is stopping the ball from going into the goal post. Alongside pride, there's vanity, there's illusion huh, coming. Oh, there's that material desire coming in. So again, oh, couldn't score a goal. Material desires held came with material desires came attachment, couldn't score a goal. So third attempt. Huh? Now move on. Now determination has got the ball and determination is moving forward with the ball with full enthusiasm and also maintaining patience in terms of passing the ball. And on the other side are this breaking the regulatory principles, intoxication coming, mm, gambling coming, meat eating coming, all this coming. Huh? But confidence has kicked the ball, and confidence has kicked the ball so high, so high. Now what? Puffed up. Ego has puffed up. है ना? The ball has gone so high that it has puffed up. And now see when those who make chapatis roti, है ना? फल का फुलाने के लिए ना? Now that when the chapati it is on fire and when it has risen so nicely, that's like puffed up ego. Oh, wow, look at me. Look at me. I'm the center of everything. This is life. Struggle. This is life. Ah, we are getting crushed between what? Expectation, desires, all these things. We are getting crushed all together in between all this. Like Nirmana Moha Jita Sangha Dosha. Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kama. Dvandver Vimukta Sukha Dukha Sangha. Dvandver. For done with material lust or free from the duality. So this is the duality. Now see, a postman comes to uh, deliver a post and knocks at someone's door, and the dog starts barking, shouting. Dog starts straight away barking. And the postman, he delivers the post and waits for a minute, gives the post, and goes off. Nah? And dog is barking heavily. And what does the dog think? Look, I shooed away the postman. Hmm. Someone came to the house, but I barked and I made him fear. I showed my strength. The other person was fearful and he left away. So, Master, you do not worry. I am guarding this house. I am in power. I have got the strength. I have got it in me. I'm in control. So the dog thinks that he has made the postman walk away. That is what we think. I think that I am in control. It's actually the modes are in control. Now look at that game of football. क्या हो रहा उस बॉल का घुंघरू की तरह बजता ही रहा हूँ मैं. This is material life, conditioned life. कभी इस पाँव से कभी उस पाँव से. Huh? Sometimes we are uplifted by kindness, compassion, and sometimes anger, greed. All is up, down, up, down. So, this faulty association from the modes of material nature, we have to win over it. We have to win over it. Coming out of duality altogether. Enough is enough, na? Done with it, done and dusted. From the duality of happiness and distress. Vinivritta kama. The word meanings are amazing. Vinivritta kama. Completely done. No more uh, hankering, desire, lamentation, or expectation. So the ball, exactly like that. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. And in this midst, what is going on? The ball is getting kicked all over. Sometimes it makes into the goal post inside, sometimes it hits the post. Sometimes it hits the net, sometimes goes high up in the sky, and the audience have come. They are just having a fun, clapping and enjoying. Those who are watching on telly, they are having a fun, clapping and enjoying. Hmm. Media and everyone, but the ball is getting all over pulled within this duality. And in this midst, the ball is thinking, "What? Look, I'm giving joy. I'm giving joy to online spectators. I'm going giving joy to the spectators in the stadium. Huh? I'm in control." Referee, he's in his thought process thinking. So actually, we are not helping anyone in this world, neither are we being helped until and unless we take into this transcendental message of Krishna consciousness. Uh, So, how do we give up this sort of duality that living in this world we are not being tossed by the waves of material whirlpool? Again, I think we have a bit shortage of time. But this 2, 3, 10, 2, 3, 11. Okay, Harsha, bring 2, 3, 12 as well, Shrimad Bhagavatam. Bring on the screen. The translation is fascinating. It speaks on the whirlpool, the waves, the whirlpool of material association, something. We are heavily carried over by it. Samsara dava nalali dhaloka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. This forest fire of material existence is burning us like anything. So we should never settle down with something temporary. No, march on, march on. So text 12, just translation. Harsha bring and Pip can read translation. Text 12. Huh? So this Krishna is giving us that Gachanti amuda padam avyayam tat. Gachanti means to embark, to attain. Amuda, someone who is not bewildered, sober, uh, intelligent. Padam avyayam tat. Avya means imperishable. That imperishable. Okay, Pip, whenever you are ready, can read translation.
Transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment, and being transcendental, it is approved by authorities. Who could fail to be attracted?
Wow, this is Shrimad Bhagavatam. See, who could fail to be attracted? I am failing myself to be attracted. no one else. Yeah. Such sweet message, such sweet transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari. When it is in relation with Krishna, then it has got its worth. Then knowledge find its value. Otherwise, not. So, in relation with the Supreme Hari, is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension. Hmm? Complete suspension. We don't want temporary solution. Temporary is not good enough. This is why any tinge iota of material desire attachment, we could be doomed for long enough again. Hmm. So we just pray, Krishna, I almost lost. That is our position. Almost lost. So complete suspension of the whirlpools. एक बार फिर लाना हर्षा स्क्रीन में एक बार थोड़ा सा ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ते हैं. हाँ? So soul can never be saturated by something temporary. Temporary will give, but only temporary relief, and that is not good enough. So, in good association, we aim for permanent relief. Krishna consciousness is the agenda. It is not a part of life, it is the life. Ah, a sadhaka should not think material life, spiritual life. Life is one, life is life. So, complete suspension is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material modes. Such nice, I find. Waves and whirlpools of the material modes. Tossed, now we are being tossed heavily. Such knowledge is self satisfying. Look, Krishna conscious knowledge is so self satisfying due to its being free from material attachment. Pure, na? Transcendental knowledge. So, very self satisfying. Otherwise, no novel or magazine can satisfy us. No. Howsoever the good the script of a movie be, but it cannot give us a real transformation in consciousness. It cannot bring about a real change in heart. So, because such knowledge is self satisfying due to its being free from material attachment and being transcendental, it is approved by authorities. How beautiful, na? Such intertwining. Krishna giving all credit to authorities. Authorities means he says pure devotees. They have approved it. The transcendentalists have approved it. Huh? Who could fail to be attracted? Now look. This is where take a screen हटा सकते हो. In many a places, na, in many a shlokas and all. Now look, it's a very personal practice, Krishna consciousness. It's a very personal dialogue Krishna is having with Arjuna. Many places in Bhagavad Gita we see what Krishna is referring to Arjuna, calling out to his name. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Ye prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samsaya. हाँ? यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम त्यजन्ति अन्ते कलेवरम तम तम एवति कौन्तेय सदा तद भाव भाविता है ना. So he's calling out Arjuna's name Kaunteya. Tam tam evati Kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita. So some of the shlokas are very personal. Krishna calling out Arjuna's name, Arjuna calling out Krishna's name. We see in Bhagavatam also different names being calling out. So some of the shlokas and the messages they give us a glimpse of glory, and also somewhere we need to find our personal engagement in there, because if I do not put personal foot in it, how can be? There's two things. One is desperation, another is restlessness. We should always be desperate but not restless or impatient. Na? So we should always be desperate to attain that avyayam tat, na? To attain that imperishable eternal kingdom. But we should not be impatient. We should not be impatient. It's not like, okay, I'm living in this material world, I just need service and I'm satisfied by my service. Oh, wow, he's so satisfied by his service that he doesn't even care for want to have a direct darshan of Krishna. No. We want the direct darshan of the divine couple. We want the darshan of Narottam Das Thakur, all the pure devotees, and assisting them in the spiritual realm. Uh, So we want our seva as well. And with that seva, we ask what? The joy of the divine couple. That is what we want. And for that, we have to have a spiritual body. We have to have that spiritual understanding. We have to have that desired longing. So it is a complete transformation, becoming more illusioned, more enchanted. This should hurt us. I've not yet had the darshan of Krishna. How can I have any iota of pride in me? है ना? Okay, any questions, comments, or any thoughts? The modes are very heavy. See, sometimes when we fly in an aeroplane, it makes us think, oh wow, I'm successful, I'm rich now, this, huh? And someone traveling by bus, oh no, such a tough life. I'm poor, I'm unsuccessful, I'm a failure, I've not made it. The modes what we associate with. huh? When a car is going fast, we become. Imagine walking in city center, in streets, bazaar, market. Na, it's a busy market. People are walking fast. Naturally, then we also walk fast. If it's a slow pace, naturally we walk slow. huh? Imagine we go into a seven-star hotel. Now we may not have been to seven-star hotel so regularly, but when we go, we naturally see the ambience and we try to fit in that ambience. huh? So the modes are very heavy and we get influenced heavily by these modes. And now we should be influenced by the mode of pure love. That will bring about a real change. Okay, now let us see next then, ultimate message. Bhagavad Gita 15.6. न तद्भास्यते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावक यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam mama. So, Rajshri, you read translation. Harsha, you read just first paragraph of the purport, and Pip can read the next paragraph of the purport. Rajshri, then we'll share the paragraphs, purports.
Hare Krishna. The supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, Pip, if you can read first paragraph of purport, and then Harsha can read.
The spiritual world, the spiritual world, the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, which is known as Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, is described here. In the spiritual sky, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity, because all the planets are self-luminous. We have only one planet in this universe, the sun, which is self-luminous, but all other planets in the spiritual sky are self-luminous. The shining effulgence of all those planets, called Vaikunthas, constitutes the shining sky known as the Brahmajyotir. Actually, the effulgence emanating from the planet of Krishna, Goloka Vrindavan. Part of that shining effulgence is covered by the Mahatattva, the material world. Other than this, the major portion of that sky is full of spiritual planets, which are called Vaikunthas, chief of which is Goloka Vrindavan.
As long as a living entity is in this dark material world, he is in conditional life. But as soon as he reaches the spiritual sky, by cutting through the false, perverted tree of this material world, he becomes liberated. Then there is no chance of his coming back here. In his conditional life, the living entity considers himself to be the lord of this material world. But in his liberated state, he enters into the spiritual kingdom and becomes an associate of the Supreme Lord. There he enjoys eternal bliss, eternal life, and full knowledge.
Read that sentence again, Harsha. But in his liberated state, he enters into the spiritual kingdom and becomes an associate of the Supreme Lord. There he enjoys eternal bliss, eternal life, and full knowledge. Pip, if you can read just the first sentence of the next paragraph, and Rajshri can continue thereafter.
One should be captivated by this information.
Rajshri, read please.
Hare Krishna. He should desire to transfer himself to that eternal world and extricate himself from this false reflection of reality. For one who is too much attached to this material world, it is very difficult to cut that attachment. But if he takes to Krishna consciousness, there is a chance of gradually becoming detached. One has to associate himself with devotees, those who are in Krishna consciousness. One should search out a society dedicated to Krishna consciousness and learn how to discharge devotional service. In this way, he can attachment to the material world. One cannot become detached from the attraction of the material world simply by dressing himself in saffron cloth. He must become attached to the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, one should take it very seriously that devotional service, as described in the 12th chapter, is the only way to get out of this false representation of the real tree. In chapter 14, the contamination of all kinds of processes by material nature is described. Only devotional service is described as purely transcendental. Hare Krishna. Should I read the next part?
Harsha, read last paragraph and translation also.
The words Paramam Mama are very important here. Actually, every nook and corner is the property of the Supreme Lord. But the spiritual world is Paramam, full of six opulences. The Katha Upanishad 2.2.15 also confirms that in the spiritual world, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, or stars. Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam. For this whole spiritual sky is illuminated by the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. That supreme abode can be achieved only by surrender and by no means. That supreme abode can be achieved only by surrender and by no other means. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
Sure. You know what Krishna is saying here? Krishna is saying this. चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं उस और गगन के तले, है ना? जहाँ धूप न हो, जहाँ छाँव ही हो, और प्यार ही प्यार पले. This is what Krishna is saying. Anyone heard of this song? Harsha suna? Old song, 70s, 80s or something.
Yes, I have heard this song.
So some of the old Bollywood songs are very nice, very philosophical. Current may also be nice. Some Bollywood songs are philosophically nice, ना? दो पल का शायर हूँ, है ना? पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है, पल दो पल मेरी हस्ती है, पल दो पल मेरी जवानी है कि नहीं? Nice song again. मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, है ना? So that is what the previous shloka says. We all are a guest in this world. But the irony is we know we are a guest in this world, but we don't live like that. Huh? A traveler cannot travel with a good traveler never travels with heavy luggage. A good traveler never travels with many luggages. No. And a good traveler, he never spoils relation with anyone. Wherever he goes with a view to understand, to make friends, you know, be friendly, be kind, compassionate, and he doesn't want to give any trouble to anyone. mm. If he's staying at some place, he doesn't want to give them much trouble, and be of kind of. He knows he's short-term stay, na short-term stay. So short-term stay, he wants to make good relations, but not upset or like that. But our is pal do pal ka shayar hu. We are just shortly. We know we are guests, but we don't live like guests. We want to live like owners. Uh, one is मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ ना. Another word जिंदगी मिलेगी ना दोबारा. Hmm? Now this for a sadhaka it is good to understand that जिंदगी मिलेगी ना दोबारा means there is no second life. Yes, a sadhaka should see like this only. Actually, life is one only. Bodies are multiple, life is one. हाँ, हर्षा राजश्री याद रखोगे ये? Bodies are multiple, ongoing, है ना? Taking many material bodies, unlimited, countless material bodies we have been taking, but life is one, the soul proper. So I am the eternal servant of Krishna. Who is that I? That has to be searched out. Now we have to humble ourselves, seeing the love of Krishna. किसी का प्यार देख के प्रेम देख के व्यक्ति हो जाता है ना surrendered. So seeing this loving message of Krishna, loving care of Krishna, we should come under Krishna's shelter, under his fold. We become we should be humbled by Krishna's such an offer. न तद्भास्यते सूर्यो न शशंक न पावक यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam mama. Anyone in this world offering us this? No one other than Krishna. Rajshri, I know you have something to add or to ask perhaps. Okay, you can ask now, Rajshri. Or
Hare
say,
Krishna, Prabhuji, you said we
Hare
are
Krishna.
travelers in this material world, is correct. And then you said, so we need to be kind to everyone and have good friendship. But again, this is very scary because in another shloka, Krishna says, you have to cut off all material attachments. So the friendships that we have in this material world are also a form of material attachment, isn't it? So it is scary to form such friendships.
Nice question. See, we all are travelers. We all are guests in this world. Uh, Some of the Bollywood songs are really good. Some are just stupid Bollywood songs. But some are good. So, and some old songs are good. New also could be good. But the thing is, we need to understand. Na? Theoretically, we still understand. We are just guests, like we are just travelers, short life. Na? Uh, there's another sort of say spiritual भजन क्या लेके तू आया जगत में क्या लेके तू जाएगा है ना सोच समझ मेरे बंदे आखिर तू पछताएगा. So we theoretically we have heard this, listened this. Now is to live by it. So we need to understand we are travelers in this world. We are guests in this world. We are caretakers. We are not owners. We are not direct controllers. We are not independent controllers. Hmm. We are guardians like. So when we travel also with a traveler, by traveler meaning a traveler, someone who is not a sadhaka but a traveler, a good traveler travels with less luggage, right? So carrying less attachments and heavy burden with him, no, travel light. And this is a rule, right? If you want to go high, then travel light. If we want to go high, then we have to travel light. And light meaning very less karma. very less attachments, very less material desires. And it has to come to a point wherein desire will remain and everything is spiritualized, all Krishna conscious desire, all Krishna conscious attachments, hmm, all Krishna conscious emotions, everything. Just one life, pure, make it pure Krishna conscious. So for us sadhakas, we need to understand we are guests in this world, we are travelers in this world, we are living in this world is like playing with fire. It is very dangerous to play with fire. Very dangerous to play with electricity, to play with fire. We don't want to do that. We'll burn ourselves. So this is how we interact, make relationships and all. So relationships make more strong relationships with devotees, na? असत संग छाड़ी यही वैष्णव आचार स्त्री संगी एक असाधु और कृष्णा भक्त आर. Mahaprabhu was asked that what is the best etiquette of a Vaishnava? What is the best quality of a Vaishnava? What should he work upon, say, on the quality? That the best quality, etiquette, behavior of a Vaishnava is he's given up asat sang. Now, asat means temporary, material, thought, emotion, desire, attachment, physical association, those relationships. Hmm. And even if like relationship of mother and son, husband and wife, brother and sister, that but spiritualizing that relationship. So that asat temporary consciousness is faulty consciousness which has to be given up, which will come about by taking good higher Krishna conscious association. Then we can actually live in this world just like guest, as a guardian, as a caretaker, mm, and not get any entangled in this world. This world is full of entanglement, heavy entanglement, heavy karma, heavy desires, very heavy. We cannot trace back. This is why Krishna says, yes, cut it all together. We cannot look back. We cannot figure it. It is such a puzzled Sudoku or such a puzzle. Now, some of the puzzle, some of the knots, they have to be cut only. Some surgery is done, right? That the leg has become, feet has become so poisonous that it has to be chopped off. There is no other way out. Likewise, material attachments are like that only. They have to be cut only. They have to be given up altogether. But our process is what? Param drishtva nivartate. So, tra- transcendentalize our emotions, our attachments, make them Krishnaize, spiritualize properly. So, in that sense, we try to understand that we are guests, but with devotees, we don't live like that. With devotees, we have an eternal bond. With devotees, we try not to maintain just like a temporary thing. Yeah, in the sense, yeah, this body is temporary. We are living in Dundee, in Glasgow, in York, Edinburgh, California, Ghaziabad, wherever, different places, na? And changing places. But that devotional sentiment and through that relationship, we make it an eternal relationship. So devotional service advancement is what? When we see others as Vaishnavas, as representative of Vishnu, and also in proper light, Uttam Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, Kanishta Adhikari, and accordingly behave, deal with them. Then we are using all this material world to as a platform to enter into eternity. Is this somewhat in line with your question, Rajshri?
Yes, Prabhuji. But how can we Krishna existing relationships? Because let's say most of them are with non-devotees.
One best way is then preach to non-devotees. वैसे देखो नॉन डिवोटी भी as such कोई है नहीं. It's like non-devotee as in someone who has not found his resolve in Krishna consciousness. So through our good behavior, through our good understanding, our conviction, uh, and preach them friendly or again friendly or of course there's nothing like unfriendly, strong or light, whatever. The message has to be clear. The message is sweet, sublime, Everyone should be partaking in this message of Krishna consciousness. And then time says, time bata deta, hai, time reveals. One who is a long-standing friend will stay, like Prabhupada's friend, right? Naren, right? He told Abhay Charan, Abhay, you have to come to meet this sadhu with me. Huh? If you do not come, then our friendship is over. So Abhay went along, and then Prabhupada completely transformed. So that, and another instance quite similar. Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, Dr. T.D. Singh, Prabhupada's disciple, scientist disciple, and his friend, I don't remember his friend's name now. They were somewhere in America, California, if I believe. So Dr. T.D. Singh, he was nicely occupied, engaged in his PhD study, and his friend was insisting him to see Prabhupada. But Dr. T.D. Singh, like Prabhupada had said, oh, there's so many sadhus, so many Vaishnavas. My father brings them home. No, they are, some of them are not good, bogus, something on those lines. So Dr. T.D. Singh also like, okay, there are many sadhus in India or here. I don't know. I don't want, many of them are bogus. So I want to protect myself, be safe. But Dr. T.D. Singh's friend said, no, he's a sadhu like none. Hmm? He's a sadhu like none. So you should see him. And if you do not come, our friendship is over, say. So Dr. T.D. Singh said, okay, fine, I will come. And I think Dr. T.D. Singh's friend was getting initiated that day, if I remember correct, by Prabhupada. So say he was initiated hopefully, and hopefully he got the initiation. Then Dr. T.D. Singh met Prabhupada, heard from him, saw him, was so enamored by Prabhupada's aura, Prabhupada's simplicity, Prabhupada's Shastric understanding, humility, knowledge, everything. And Prabhupada also met him. And Prabhupada, knowing that he's Manipuri, wow, Prabhupada very impressed. Manipur has a great culture to offer. Great culture. Vaishnava culture, na? Manipur was once a Vaishnava state in India. So, and then a scientist, Manipuri, Vaishnav family scientist, such good singer. So Prabhupada was very impressed. Then Prabhupada said like this Swarup Damodar, Dr. T.D. Singh, whenever he comes, he can come and see me anytime he likes. For him, there is no formal meeting required, no appointment required. He makes sure he doesn't have to wait to see me. When he comes, my doors are always open. Let him come and see me. So that friendship, Dr. T.D. Singh and his friend Prabhupada and his, so likewise, na, preaching is helping. So preach, uh, uh, and then our existing relationships will fructify. uh, will fructify. So that ways we try to make ourselves Krishna conscious, and also pass on that Krishna consciousness to others. And Krishna will give all the blessings, He will give all the help. First of all, we have to be very sure and clear in ourselves. What do we want in life? Krishna says, Na tad bhasyate suryo, na. So do we want entrance in such a world? Supreme abode of mind. This purport is fascinating. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the last para, right? Every nook and corner is the property of the spiritual Lord, of the Supreme Lord. Yes, actually, every nook and corner is, but Krishna says, Tad Dhama Paramam Mama. Paramam, na? So that is Krishna's abode, his home, Paramam. Ah, this is also Krishna's Dham only, but it is not Paramam. Krishna says this Dham is Dukhalaya Masasvatam, na? Not Paramam. But that Dham is what? Sukhalayam Sashvatam. That is that Dham. Sukhalayam and Shashvatam. Complete reservoir of joy, happiness, bliss for eternity. So this make this message, make this message promise of Krishna as what the platform, the interlink, the transportation for us from Dukhalayam Ashashvatam to Sukhalayam Shashvatam. Yeah, we should be captivated by this information altogether. completely in our mode. And now we need to assess what do we want in life, to become a PhD, a doctor, lawyer, management student, huh? Housewife, businessman, what? Not denying that we cannot be. We can be, but this is not our ultimate priority or our real identity. All this is just to facilitate. This is everything should be to pass the time. Honestly speaking, studies, family relationships, husband and wife, mother and father, uh, and those relationships like passing the time. Hmm. Ultimately, what? To gain entrance in the eternal realm. That is how we should promote ourselves. Mahaprabhu's teachings only, na? Mahaprabhu said, Asatyas यही वैष्णव आचार ना असत संग छाड़ी यही वैष्णव आचार स्त्री संगी एक असाधु कृष्ण अभक्त आर. It is to avoid the association of those who are into worldly association. We try to avoid them association. How can we avoid? By giving them higher association, our association, Krishna conscious association. And if it is too heavy, then we distance ourselves. Let time deal, na? Let time sort things out. We don't have to take charge for each and everyone. uh, And Krishna abhakta are those who are envious. Mahaprabhu says, leave the association of those who are envious. Abhakta, na? Those who are dveshi, dvandi, pasandi, offender, envious. No, we do not associate with them. And those who are very much into worldly opulent. No. So this like message, na, Krishna is saying, how much are we becoming greedy for it? How much are we hankering for it? So our personal Krishna consciousness has to be ignited. When personal Krishna consciousness is ignited, nicely getting ignited, then we can naturally Krishna will give that intelligence to deal with family relations, everything. And dharma means not to quit. Dharma means not to abandon. Dharma means not to leave. Dharma means to unite. Hmm? Dharma means to bring together, to involve, to engage, to include in this family of pure Krishna consciousness. But for that, first I have to become a Krishna conscious devotee. And as I am becoming, alongside, will feel enthused to pass on that Krishna consciousness. Does this somewhat answer Rajshri?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
It is by becoming a good follower only one can become a good leader. And the difficulty is following. Very difficult to follow. And we have this tendency, na, human life means conditioned life, means tendency to jump into conclusion or jump into being a leader. eh? No, we don't want that. Prabhupada said, right, that amongst the association of devotees, amongst the companies, the society of devotees, we should be like a lamb. We should be like a lamb, very humble. And when outside in the preaching world, we should be like a tiger, a lion, ferocious, fearless preaching. Now, fearless doesn't mean rude, offending, or harsh. No. Fearless means intelligent preaching. Hmm? That preaching. Na tad bhasyate suryo na sasanka na pavaka. Yadgato. So, where do we find a place not illumined by the sun or moon? This world, na, it's ignorance, darkness. Sun is required, moon is required, stars are required. So much, everything is there. Still, we live in so much of darkness. But my spiritual world is not like that. No, it is fully illuminated, fully conscious, fully joyful. And that is our real identity. है ना? Deep down, we want to be always happy. We want to be always knowledgeable. We carry that knowledge. It's just uncovering. Oh, now oh, I see, I know. It is there. It's just hidden or covered very much because of faulty association. And now with good association, it will come to the surface. So we should be very captivated by this information. Tad dhama paramam mama. Uh, Now Bollywood also says ना लेके चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं उस गगन की ओर, uh, where there is peace, love, joy, everything. But Bollywood doesn't know what is that place, where is that place, and we cannot go in this material body to that place. Through material consciousness, we cannot go. So we have to elevate our consciousness, eternalize our consciousness. Then the body is there, the body is available. That will come about with deep attachment towards Krishna, deep absorption in japa, deep absorption in reading, hearing, ah, wanting to fall in love with Krishna. Then life should become only one aim, one goal. Not like somehow for this time I have these aim and goals, and alongside I am doing bhakti. Bhakti can never be done like alongside. We don't want to do bhakti like that. Alongside, no. Bhakti is the priority. Make job, study, everything is a part of as a bhakti only. Why? How? By coming under as devotee association. Or devotee wants me to continue study. Okay, then Krishna is fine. Okay, yes. Why are you studying? Oh, devotee, your devotee wants me to continue study, so I'm studying. Okay, fine. Why have you quit studies? Your devotee wanted me to quit studies, so I've quit. Okay, fine. Yeah? That is devotional service in Anugatya Bhav, in subservient nature. Okay, any other thoughts, questions, or comments? We'll try to study more this shloka tomorrow, but for now, any thoughts, questions, or comments, or any additions? So, in spiritual world, everything is self-illuminating. In Brahma Samhita, na, those Lord Brahma's prayers, he said, right? Um, every step is a dance. Every word is a song. Every moment is like a festival. That is spiritual realm. Shriya Kanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Truma Bhumischinta Maniganimaya Amritam Katha Ganam Natyam Gamanamapi Vamsi Priyasakhi चिदानन्दं ज्योति परमपि तदास्वाद्यम् अपि च स यत्राशिरादिभिः श्रवति सुरभियश्च सुमहान् निमेषार्धाख्यो वा व्रजति न हि यत्रापि शमय भजे श्वेताद्वीपं तमह तमहमिह इह गोलोकम् इति यम् विदन्तस्ते सन्त क्षितिविरलचारा कटिपये. Brahmaji's Udgar, Brahmaji also glorifying the spiritual world. And this is what he's saying. Every water is like nectar, every drop is like nectar, every tree is a wish fulfilling, desiring per tree. Hmm? Every cow is a Surabhi cow. That realm, Golok Vrindavan. So we'll try to see more, and tomorrow maybe we can read this also, the translation for this, what Lord Brahma is praying. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention and patient listening and encouragement. Fascinating Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, 5, 6. We'll continue a bit from 6 tomorrow and see how we proceed further. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.